Hi guys, Mark from The Lawnologist. Today I'm going to talk to you about moss control, what causes it, what we can do about it and how to prevent it. Let's get into it because it's going to get dark and I've got to crack on. So this lawn here is old. I know it's old because it's my late grandmother's lawn and she passed away in July last year in fact. And in the 43 years I've been on this planet, I know nothing was done with this lawn. The property is about 400 years old, so I can only guess that the lawn is too, literally. And therefore, it's full of moss. So I'm going to spin the camera around and show you what we're up against here. And I'm going to give you a quick synopsis on what I think is the best way to deal with it and how we can prevent it, because this will be a challenge. So the first thing to realise is that moss is often caused by conditions unfavourable to grass growth. And we have got that here. I mean, if you look down very closely, you can see there is more moss than grass. In fact, it's safe to say the moss is totally outcompeting the grass, and we need to reverse that and get the grass to outcompete the moss. And this, I would say, is a pretty bad mossy lawn. But what are the unfavourable conditions? Well, I know the soil is probably low in fertility because nothing's been done. I know we have big shade issues here because there's a massive tree, and we are surrounded by bushes here. And the grass isn't mowed regularly, it's never been aerated, it's never been scarified, and it's never been fertilised. I know, because my grandparents weren't really into all of that. So also, we have, this lawn is on a bit of a run, which means that the water runs down to that stream, which is behind the big old tree. So really the conditions aren't favourable at all for grass to thrive without some sort of intervention. But the first thing to do is to get a moss control on. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to time it so you can see how quickly a good professional moss control will activate. So you'd have just seen part of the lawn go brown. We've sprayed it with our commercial moss control and winter tonic. Now, it took about 25 seconds. I've sped it up slightly for the purpose of this video, so you're not looking at a screen for 25 seconds with not a lot going on, but other than moss control going brown. But what it is, it's a high concentrate ferrous sulfate mix. It's basically liquid iron. We've added a few other agents in there to kind of make sure it's more impactful. But what it will do, it will wick into the moss and dehydrate the moss. The moss will dehydrate, start to shrink back a little bit, and stop growing. It won't kill the moss off. It won't get rid of the moss completely. But we need to stop it from growing. We need to stop it from spreading. So that's the first stage. Attack the moss, stop it from growing. Now, in a few days' time, maybe a week or so, could start thinking about raking that out. I'd probably sit a bit tight until the weather improves and go at it with in fact, for something this bad, I would go at it with a scarifier and we'd hook it all out. So we've got rid of the moss. But what can we do to prevent moss? What can we do? Because we just had a really wet autumn and a really wet winter, and it's just been perfect conditions for moss, and I'm seeing lawns full of it. And what can we do? Well, first of all, commercial professional treatments is the number one thing to do. Over-the-counter stuff is not going to cut it. You're going to have to persevere. By that time, you spent a load of money, and you might as well got a professional in and a professional company to come in and do it for you. But what can you prevent it? Well, a nutrition program. If you want to get to a stage where you've got rid of the moss problem and you want to prevent that coming back less aggressive, because you're never going to stop it coming back completely, but you just need to be on top of it, then these are the things you want to do. Professional moss control. Get a professional compound down that's going to dehydrate the moss, wick into the moss, and prevent it from spreading. Once it's dried out, get the lawn scarified when the conditions are more favourable. So when we're in spring, when the grasses are going to recover better, start to scarify it, pull all the dead moss out. Aerate. Get some air into the soil, get some air movement, get a better water and gaseous exchange, makes the conditions less favourable for moss. Once you've aerated, get some seed down and then work on grass density. Feed the lawn, nutritional program, get the lawn dense, get the grass to outcompete the moss. Therefore, if you do get moss again, you can treat it very, very quickly. The grass will outcompete it, and you should never have an infestation again like we've seen here. I hope that helps. Catch you another time. Adios.